Hello again everyone and welcome back to Tank of the Week. This week we'll be looking at the Carro Armato P26/40. The P26/40 is an Italian heavy tank, produced and used by both Italy and Germany during World War II. Designed by Ansaldo, approximately 103 units were built between 1943 and 1944. The P26/40 had a mass of 26 tons and was 5.8 meters or 19 feet long. It had a width of 2.8 meters or 9 feet 2 inches and stood at 2.5 meters tall or 8 feet 2 inches. The tank was crewed by 4 crew members, a commander who also took the role of the gunner, a loader, a driver and a radio operator. The armor was 60mm or 2.4 inches on the front, 45mm or 1.8 inches on the sides, 20mm or 0.8 inches thick on the rear and top of the turret, and 50mm or 2 inches on the front, 45mm or 1.8 inches on the side, 40mm or 1.6 inches on the rear, and 14mm or 0.6 inches on the hull pieces on the bottom. The P26/14 is armed with an Ansaldo 75mm L-34 gun and an 8mm Breda 38 machine gun, with an optional Breda machine gun to be attached on the top. Additionally, the tank is equipped with a V12 SPA 342 diesel engine with 330 horsepower and power to weight ratio of 11.53 horsepower per ton. Semi-elliptical leaf spring bogies make up the suspension. The maximum operational range is 280 kilometers or 170 miles with a maximum speed of 40 kilometers per hour or 25 miles per hour on road and 25 kilometers per hour or 60 miles per hour off-road. The designation Carro Armato P26/40 indicated that the item is an armored vehicle, with the P standing for pesante or heavy, the 26 standing for the tank's mass in tons, and the 40 standing for the year the tank was designed, 1940. Development for the P26/40 began on Mussolini's specific orders. He initially required the tanks to be 20 tons, utilizing a 47mm gun with 3 machine guns and a crew of 5, though this was replaced by the P26 design. At the time of development, there were no engines in Italy capable of delivering the necessary 300 horsepower required to move the vehicle. Unlike the US and British tank manufacturers of the time, they did not turn to using aircraft engines, and as a result designed an entirely new engine called the Fiat 262 with 420 horsepower. This engine was tested but not adopted for the tank. The prototype designation for the tank was the P75 after the caliber of the gun. The first prototype was not unlike an enlarged M13-40, just with a 76-18 howitzer, which has also been fitted on the Semovente da 75-18. This was later modified into swapping out the 76-18 gun with the 76-32 gun, along with a coaxial machine gun. In 1941, the Germans supplied the Italians a captured T-34, sparking a radical modification of the design of the P26. The armor was thickened from 40 to 50mm on the front and from 30 to 40mm on the sides. The armor was more sloped and the gun was replaced with a new 76/34 gun. After the upgrades, the tank reached 26 tons and had even more difficulty finding a suitable engine to move the tank, limiting mass production. In the end, it was decided that early production tanks would be outfitted with 330 horsepower SPA 8V diesel engines, later to be replaced by 430 horsepower petrol engines. Although design had started in 1940, very few vehicles were built by the time the Italians signed the armistice with the Allies in September 1943. The few tanks that were built after were used by the Germans, under the designation Panzerkampfwagen P40-737I. Most finished P40 tanks were assigned to the Southern Tank Training Battalion, 10th and 15th Police Panzer Companies, and the 24th Waffen Mountain Division of the SS Karstjäger. Additionally, P40 tanks without engines were deployed in Anzio and at defensive positions like Gustav and Gothic lines to be used as static emplacements. The Southern Tank Training Battalion trained crews to use captured Italian tanks and used 5 P40s. The 10th Police Panzer Company was deployed to northern Italy in late 1944 alongside the 15th Police Panzer Company. The 24th Waffen Mountain Division of the SS Karstjäger was deployed to Trieste and Udine along the Adriatic coast, and while retreating towards Austria in March of 1945, they lost many P40 tanks to British Shermans of the 6th Armoured Division. In total, around 100 P40s were used by the German Wehrmacht, 40 of which were deployed without engines and used as static emplacements. There were 2 variants planned, once the Italian army realized the P40 was inferior to the German Panther. The P43 and the Semovente 149/40. The P43 had a mass of 30 tons with 50 to 80 mm thick armor and either the 75/34 gun or the 105/23 gun. The P43 bis, an alternative, had heavily sloped armor and a 450 horsepower engine, and a 90/42 gun, though the P43 model did not pass the wooden mock-up stage. The Semovente 149/40, based on the P40 hull, only one vehicle was ever built, and was intended to be a highly mobile, self-propelled artillery piece with the most powerful gun of the Royal Italian Army. The Italian army was not impressed, and after the Italian armistice, the German army was not impressed with it either. The prototype was captured by American forces and sent to the Aberdeen Proving Grounds for testing. 2 P26/40s exist today, one preserved at the Museo della Motorizzazione in Rome, and another one on display near the army barracks near Lecco. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope to see you in the next episode of this series.